manipulate. Too much you can, but you shaking. Too much of a friend, yeah, you stuck through Nathan. Complain too much instigating. Too much insinuating. You too much of an agent. Celebrities too, heavenly bodies got you stargazing. Dilated peoples, stark amazement. Top chart chasing, your heart racing. Spellbound, too much dark sayings. Am I saying too much in my paint can graffiti art? Spraying too much to spark in the dark basement. They breaking too much. These minds operate too much evil, way too much for me, yo. Now with all the fake check-ins. Either you're from the soil or you're not. And this ain't even a half. They displace you engine, replace you engine, erase you through paper. Genocide engine, land session agreements, a fake space. View engine change, days to purposely misplace you engine. And shouting, tax you on your own. Land engine, you a child, not a grown woman, a grown man engine. And fact you black, you that person in all caps on them contracts. Legal fiction, non-living show. Damn engine, how long will you let them debase you, deface you? Oh, and engine, no one is coming to save you. In great new world awaits you, engine. They intend to continue to rape and enslave you down to a remix of religion. A raven image that reset the same station. They made you engine to say unseen hand. You just wait, can't slay you, engine. But it's the return of the ancient ones. We back.
Alright, what's up, baby? What's happening?
Not regretting chit chat, shit back on forth on platforms for a itch or scratch, rich stack for a Kit Kat or a Big Mac. Temporary conshipment that don't kiss back, shit swag.
Hey, baby, what's up, man?
Restoration of what was overthrown, American.
I'm a spark to your fuse, baby.
Home alone, all foreigners gone, sure fighting. You, Hebrew, Muslim, Mason, Moorish, Cornerstone, Fraternal.
I gotta get back up some clothes and get them over and drop off at the church. Pretty much got most of the clothes I normally keep. I gotta dump on all my socks. Got some things to do. This TV's gonna be gone today, I think. Hopefully the sound bar and some of the furniture. So we'll see, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get the hell out of here and go. Not because it's bad or anything, I'm ready, you know, it's just, I can't explain everything. Everything's not meant to be explained, you know, nor does it have to be accepted nor dismissed, but I just know.
I'll kick you up.
There we go again.
Indigenous resistance. Warrior spirit. TRU This is for my peoples. Too much debating, too much hating, too much faking, too much grand staging, too much handshaking, too much land taking, too much manipulating. Too much you can, but you shaking. Too much of a friend, yeah, you stuck through Nathan. Complain too much instigating, too much insinuating. You too much of an agent. Celebrities too, heavenly bodies got you stargazing. Dilated peoples, stark amazement. Top chart chasing, your heart racing. Spellbound, too much dark sayings. Am I saying too much in my paint can graffiti art? Spraying too much to spark in the dark basement. They breaking too much. These minds operate too much evil, way too much for me, yo. Now with all the fake check-ins. Either you're from the soil or you're not. And this ain't agreements, a fake space. View engine change, dates to purposely misplace you engine. Egg shouting, tax you on your own. Land engine, you a child, not a grown woman, a grown man engine. In fact, you black, lit person in all caps on them contracts. Legal fiction, non-living show. Damn, engine, how long will you let them debase you, deface you? Oh, and engine, no one is coming to save you. A great new world awaits you, engine. They intend to continue to rape and enslave you, bound to a remix of religion. A graven image that reset the same station. They played you, engine, that say unseen hand. You just vacate, slay you, engine. But it's the return of the ancient ones. We back. Hold fast, let me hit that. Now you lift that. Give rap, not with rhetoric.
Y'all better be bopping in them seats. Yo, it's all made. What's happening, beloved? What's going on? I was going over some of my old Miss Bradshaw was like one of the top acting coaches or teachers. You know, Broadway, all that. I was going over some of my works I did for her when I was in college. Actors 1 and 2 and all that. You know, we did some plays, you know, stage plays. I did, oh yeah. I think I was the only straight guy there, but yeah. Y'all might want to hang around. I'm going to talk about some, y'all know. So I was just going over it, and I was writing down some stuff too. A lot of stuff. Like I said, man, it was different for me, man. I did things totally different. When you're in college and you know things, the professors look stupid. Then you can see how they manipulate the minds of the youth, and you can see what role they play. You get the public admin, so Professor Smith, ex-cop, he made sure I know a lot of stuff when it comes to everybody's, what they do, and I got my law books too, you know, like procedures have nothing to do with law. Procedures not invalid, but it don't matter what they teach, how they teach in the police. That's why people are ignorant. Like, I'm not a citizen or a national, I'm not none of that crap. But the problem is, you're dealing with a world full of ignorance. What do you do with ignorance? Well, you accept that there's relevance to being something said. Once you speak upon that, then you're invoking what's supposed to be invoking. If they don't know, then everything they're doing is moving. They don't know. And they have 10 to 11 minutes. All right? Even in entertainment, you got 10 to 11 minutes. Other than that, you gotta let go, and I'm gonna walk away. I don't care who you are. But most people don't see that because right now they're looking for the mentally apprehensive. They're looking for the sick, the deranged. Those who belong in a certain order, who want to do a specific caliber. All right? You know what I mean? So I like looking at some of the professors and stuff who I've dealt with. Efficiency, effectiveness, artists, power, organizational cultures. All those things have nothing to do with truth, like Blue Lives Matter. That has nothing to do with the citizens who feel like they've been dealt a bad hand. And if you as a citizen and you get into a narrative of, you know, being an official for peace or whatever, yeah, they say they don't have the right, when the 13th Circuit say they don't have to protect the serf, then what's the gambit? See, most people run around this world based on white superiority, to which there's no superiority, because white is a fictional character. It's a social construct. It has nothing to do with the truth of your existence. It's like black is to diminish the original. It just is, whether you believe it or not. I've written more than enough information. I could debate anybody on it. Anybody. Who's pretending? It's always the same. Only when you insist. Is it bad? Da-da, no answer, pause, look. Really? What's certainly articulation? It's a lot of stuff. You know, but when you write and you study this stuff and then you practice it, you start to realize that there's a lot of things in this world that aren't what it's supposed to be in the so-called world. You know what I mean?
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Jah, you've always had a father, the author of your flow, the show fire starter, the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. Latif, I'm still teaching you like he got yang.
How many of y'all have read What is the Third State? Are y'all aware of that? I have the book. I'm not going to read it now. But look into that. What is the third state? I think it's by Abias. I think it's by Abias Sayez. Abias Sayez, something like that. S-A-E-Z. So.
Okay, shall it? Your vision is recently that my descendant when filming your intuition extends the lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class get your inner magic, dramatic action mixed with vivid aspects mastered, surpasses the average glass, stretches the facet through the scope of life's Kodak you see classic.
I messed college up with the African American history. I burnt the. I think they was like, because when I went back, when I was done with that class, 4.0, right? I went back to talk with some of the students in the class that I just took the semester before. Well, you know, 3 months ago. And they were like, "Oh, we're not even talking about that." I showed them a complete lie, fabrication. When you start showing patents and copyrights and they're like, well, I said, what people are copyrighted? I says, and that's why I started pointing out that NASA is a power source for the CIA, FBI, blah, 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 and by the way, the Vatican, and they were like, get out of here, and I started showing all the connections. You know, you go up to the board and you put up the names, but you had to put them correctly. All the students like, what stuff is he studying? I'm like, in the library right here in the college. They just curriculum. You go and you get your books. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you gotta get, if you gotta pay or you know. And a lot of books nobody ever gets. That's certain individuals. And then the library has tons of information. The Dillingham Flaw with it's like, yeah, the Dillingham Flaw, you know, when you're dealing with simplistic categories or, you know, the anachronistic judgments, which is pretty much inaccurate comparisons. And that's what most people are doing right now. The comparisons have nothing to do with things that are relevant. It's inaccurate. It's because they believe and they hold on to it. They think it's supposed to be meaningful, and there's nothing meaningful about it. You know what I'm saying? When you want to get to stability, you got to have order. Stability means order, right? That's what somebody fancies. But the reality is the order is based on whose order, not natural order. It has to be something like they think it's simplistic because there's value to it. Like saying that the order is. Well, who's saying that's the order? Especially if you're not living a wrong life. You know, order, like you would think placing an order. Or I order you. I'm giving you a lawful order. Because you wear a costume, and that has what you're saying has nothing to do with law. This is where we get into the inaccuracy. You know, individual faults and all that kind of stuff. What's the status quo? Do we change it? How's it changed? It's a game.
Send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path, simple, highest form, spirituality's how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that were them. Destroy this de facto government and its forums.
Hey, what's going on? We got enough people. Go ahead and get it. I was thinking about that. You know, when you think about converging subcultures, and you get into this marginality where you start looking at these different things, like living under stress in two cultures simultaneously. Well, if the two people are living their cultures, regardless of the difference or indifference, there's nothing going on unless you, like a red and black ants, you put them in a jar and you stare them. It's not saying that the red and black ants aren't in the same area, but in a jar where everything is calm, there is stress. First of all, they're not working, they're not with their queens, but they're not actively attempting to a suicide or killing one another. Shake the bottle, just like anything else. That's what I'm gonna get into today. So, you know, like, you know, some people want to talk real politically correct, and if you know the truth of politics, there's nothing correct there. It has nothing to do with correct. It's what I say, and that is not what politics was supposed to be when it was established. Politics is politics. It is to keep people substantially inoperable, you know, inadequate, while they believe they're adequate, because you're converging on this and you're giving this false synapses that everything is normal, or where you've created all these cultural differences when there actually wasn't none. You know, people say, what about culture? That's a social construct. Why would it have to be recognized? Why would it, what's the feasibility behind it being established that culturally we're different? If you're going to be on the same land and claim to be the same people, America, that's why I say liberals are retarded. You can easily create a certain atmosphere with a certain group of people depending on, we want to say the state's blue. There's no such thing as states. It's all made up crap. All right, that keeps division as well, where people can do incredibly dumb things, like most of your politicians, I don't care, conservative, liberal, or freaking whatever, independent. It's always the same thing. I was on Instagram this morning. I was reaching out to Ganja to see how he's doing, say hi to my baby and everything like that. And I just wanted to see some of the comments. I don't be scrolling down. Snooze usually the first thing I see, even though it might be 17, 24 hours, like a day ago. It'll pop up like, why didn't I get that? You know, because you know what's going on. But regardless of that, and I'll just look at, you know, any replies, or some people got a hold of the information. It's not really about whether you like it or not. I don't care. All right. And I always see these certain individuals commenting and talking about, oh, that was yesterday, or get over it. You still have many melanated people who don't know their truth. You have youth who think they're educated because they got some information other than what they got in school, and they run with it. You know, I asked this one young man, he's about 22 years old, right? I says, hey, what's the semblance of red, black, and green, the flag? He couldn't even tell me that Marcus Garvey was the one that invented it. Well, we're just pushing back to the 1940s or 50s. He couldn't even express that. I says, do you know that there was the League of Nations before it was the UN? And what was the League of Nations for? Primarily to defeat socialism, even of Marxism. And see, socialism doesn't mean it's Marxism, all right? And the socialism was a creation too, a narrative that had nothing to do with the truth of people not wanting to be ruled over. It's like how they use music. You know, you got Tupac, right? Bisexual. All his feminine traits, we always saw them. What man, you know, how many of y'all know about the bear community where they walk around with leather and all that? There's really sick individuals. They talk about they got a husband, but they do these things so they can sleep with other men. No moral subjugation. The whole thing about how the gay agenda, which it is, was to make people disillusioned, those who would control those who would speak against it, because all they think is they have social platforms. And then those who go out outside, well, if you have the FBI or somebody or a group of gay people go out there and create a disturbance, and they're not getting locked up, nobody's dying, but now they can act the law saying we can't do this, so now we can paint the roads with this rainbow flag, we can dismiss the God that we gave you, we can say we're going to write a new one, we're going to give you a new God. This is where y'all have no control. But when you got people running around, they're playing this pain and pleasure is all they seek. They're in the physical, right? Nothing apprehensive. There's nothing about the spiritual. That removes the divinity of who you are. So the agenda is real. But most people, you're docile. I mean, chemicals play a part. I mean, look at this. In this book right here, this is one of the books I've been reading for well over a decade. This is Robert E. Longo, MRC, LPC, and BCN, right? A Consumer's Guide to Understanding Greg Brain, I forgot how to pronounce it, key brain mapping and neurofeedback training. This is a really good book. And I know that in here, right? Well, I remember looking at this when I was in college and in the military. When you look at the brain function, right, you get into the systems of electrode placements to know how to, and this all this was about, to learn how to control the brain. Now, they had you believe after the $6 million man, the bionic woman, that it was for augmentation, you know, to be able to control certain things and thoughts, like just like you do with your hand. Very abnormal and unnatural, yet it was more to it than that. So you have the nose, 2 ears, the back of the head, right? When they could figure out what stimulates what to make what, even in thought, you know what I'm saying, to control, you know, this is very important. So they knew how to do that. And this wasn't just the ambience around you. That means the ether, most people call it, you know what I'm saying? Metachlorines, like in Star Wars, the natural things, all the frequencies that are around you, to deaden your frequency and disconnect you from the source, right? It's about controlling that. How to be able to get in your head and put words in there. Not only through light, which can affect your body, your heart, it can destabilize you. It was bigger than anybody can conceive, conceptualize. But we're dealing with that right now. You see people in restaurants blowing up, fighting, casinos, everything. And it's always either protection or it's just outright, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take this woman, I'm not from this land, but I can't shake who I am, and I'm going to rape this woman, and then because I got caught and I got my pleasure, now I'm going to sadistically murder this woman. This is the stuff that people are saying. Me, I'm no threat to nobody. I'm not here to be a threat. If I was a threat, do you think I'd be on here? If you think I was a danger, and see, this is the games they play, all right? Because of the social delusional construct, the fake culture. You have a lot of pale skins and gay ones at that. And that's why it's funny with these so-called black liberals, right? Who will sit there and comment on these, like, Instagram got so many gay people running around because it's always popping up. I guess they got the blue check. And I'm like, yo, I'm blocking. I'm like, it's this stuff. I'm not looking at this crap. I go on there and it's just the same thing on Facebook. And then you see the immorality of these individuals. And me personally, it doesn't bother me, but I sit there and say cause and effect. They let them move in their own world and they keep it that way because to the enemy of all life, even to the dummies who run around, regardless of how they got that way, they choose to stay there, right? It's a game. It's manipulation. And it pits everyone against everyone against everyone against everyone. And that's where we're at right now. Everyone is pitted against one another. You know, it doesn't matter. Like some people say, well, if I'm speaking the truth, when I point things out, I say, okay, this is a fact. It's not my truth. I didn't create the cornerstone for it. I didn't sit there and come up with the hypothesis or the theories or anything relevant to what may be actually based upon the truth. I just say, this is a fact. And other than that, I'll say, well, here's some sources of references for information for you to find out for yourself. Then you make a choice. What do you see? What is your conceptualization of what you perceive, what's being given? See, this is how they are ruling the world. A few people. a few individuals. And when I say that, I'm talking about out of the 100% of people on Earth, whatever number it may be, and the things, or whatever, right? It's less than 1% who control the narrative. You see how easy it is how easy it is to hide 1%, if it's even 1%. But you got to think about all the players who are the dice to be rolled who are playing the game. You know what I mean? I mean, even Boozy told you, you know, that if you have a certain sound going over frequency and certain words during certain times when people are struggling and they believe that looking at this rapper, this thug, this fake individual, all right, that they can come up and get rich too. That's why you have all of a sudden rap going. But that was phonetically what us, we created it. Just like country and everything else. You know, country music was the first thing turned over to fake ass satanic worship. And bluegrass. We created that. You know what I'm saying? Jazz. 10, 15 years ago, to try to say the Native Americans made jazz. That was so easy to debunk. And it's just the pushing. Because then it pits two people against one. You give them hope who never done or created anything. And the other one who created damn near everything, you take from them and now you pit them against people who they didn't really have a problem with, regardless of what happened back, 200 and something odd years ago. The reality is most people cannot conceive of because they are being taught, they are being controlled. All right, their conviction is based on what they've been given. I mean, look at that, how they broke the so-called black families. No such thing as black, but I know some people are still ignorant. They go in there and says the husband can't be here. Now, he done fought in a goddamn war. His children are important. The government is treating him just like him and Kitchen, that bastard who shouldn't have been in the position he is, saying there's a number of dogs anyway. That's why I have a dog tag, right? Saying he can't be there. In order for you to receive this assistance, they were giving, when they were robbing our banks, all our stuff, stealing all our gold, and turning the fiat into worthlessness. They were giving it all to these Pelicans getting off the boat. And that's the same ones who are crying right now while they got all these Venezuelan gangs and all these other people who are jungle warfare fighters. They brought them here and Chinese soldiers. It don't matter how many they bring in here, they couldn't defeat anything. But their information, mapping. All right, people say, well, I'm not against none of it, man. I'm kind of enjoying it. And you would say that's morbid. No, what's morbid is you're sitting on your ass and you're not doing nothing about it. You're the sacrilege. You're the sacrifice. I'm nowhere in that camaraderie. Because I'm a witness to it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not here to stop that shit. I'm here to see some of you wake up, and the ones that don't wake up, that's y'all's turn. You do that over in the Arab countries, it's pretty much the same thing. But y'all know everything. See, this is where you get into this confliction. They've mapped you, they've got you and convinced you on a little world they created to allow some of you to be phenomenally a little better off. Some of the other ones to be stingy and hold on to bad things. It's a social construct. But you're not going to look beyond it. Why? You don't know how to. I'm not here to deliver anyone. I'm here to tell you to become what you're supposed to be and stop playing around. I want to see balance. They're all fleeing. Do you think everybody in the music industry dies because they sing or talk about it? No, they're telling you it's a game mapped out. It's a game. And yet you'll believe into it because that's something else to have your mind elsewhere other than on yourself. You'll sit there talking about the bisexual Tupac, him having sex with Janet, or did they really, and the AIDS test, and this, that, and the other. But then the other guy who did the love scene with her, he didn't have to have one. Well, one wasn't gay and the other one was. But that's unimportant. The ambiguity of it all is that y'all are so misfocused and misdirected. You can't access or attain anything other than what they've created you to be. So whenever I see people talking about I'm African American, I say, no, you're African dumb because you know nothing about the narrative of Mauritania or anything else over there. You only know what they've established, which was no more and no less than in the 50s. to which they were treated different from you because you are not the slave or chattel or anything over here. You're POWs and too damn dumb because you're still listening to Garvinites and all the dumbasses who won't tell you what happened. And if they do tell you, they'll give this explanative narrative and false language of decor as if to paint him up to be some great thing and iconic when they are just full of it and they're part of your social construct's destruction. So with your social construct, your false culture being destroyed, it destroys you because you wear it like a badge of fake honor and some kind of chip on your shoulder to say, ooh, when you can't even come together to get your heads right. You got almost 8 billion people, they proclaim, who can't even, and they're telling you that they need to get rid of, at least get it down to 500 million, maybe 1 or 2 billion. And you fools are willing to go ahead and fight and die like you really got 42 virgins waiting or Valhalla and this, that, and other that has nothing to do with any of your existence because the majority of you are new people, new beings. You didn't exist in the 16 and 1500s or the 6th and the 5 and the 5th, the 6th and the 7th and the 6th century, which would be 500s and the 600s. Because this is not 2024. But they have given it to you, so how can you shake it free? Some of y'all act like me painting the narrative of taking 100 or 1,000 children and taking them to an island, firstborn, and then nurturing them and rearing them with nurses and aides and wet nurses and teaching them black is red and red is black. They'll never know the opposite. And then when they come across that, they'll identify with the narrative given, even in this language. And I can bring people to war based on 2 colors. World War I was fought by 3 or 4 cousins, and it was pushed all on a false narrative, lying by the very people who control pretty much your food, your banking, and everything else, who murder people, and regardless of how and why. But y'all can't even shake that. You got dumb pale-skins right now, slavery's over, get over that. Well, your uncle probably didn't tell you that he was a kid watching autochthonous people being murdered when there was no damn Indians anywhere. It's funny how one narrative that fit the original people became that to the native Pan-American movement. That's the know-nothing politics. And don't even know the low-level Masons up to 33rd. It goes over that. Then they'll throw sutras out that y'all know nothing about, and hear mudras that y'all have control. Then you're in control of nothing. They're controlling you. Everything about you is hypothetical. It's not even a theory no more because y'all live in the lie. Billy Carson, the most wonderful thing that monkey said was, if everybody stopped working, even for a week. But y'all don't know how to because y'all don't know how to come together. You have dumb pale skins who don't know real history. And the ones who are starting to wake up, they're still pushing black and white as if separation is division is something. For us, it would be best because we don't have to tolerate their ignorance. But they're coming around. You see what I'm saying? Not all, but many are. Y'all are still listening to the media. I know a lot of you still get up because I can hear it in your conversations when you're texting. That means I can literally take it and I can freaking hear you actually saying it by putting your face to it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, how do you make that platonic in a relationship with other individuals around you and act as if it's the knowing? How do you do that when it's so far from what you need to do? Like, it's like the fear factor is that heavy, huh? Oh man, I remember that. I have definitely heard such character flawed misconceptions about many and still even my own biased ideology that affects the Dilligan flow. This, I believe, comes from an inherent aptitude of broad-based, I don't want to say that word. Anyway, that we are born into through media, TV, and just plain old racial profiling. Racial profiling happens at every level and by every people because y'all believe in the social construct of race. You believe in the divinity of the division by cultural differences that make indifferences. Why do y'all believe in stuff y'all have no knowledge? As if believing is supposed to mean that you know, when you actually don't know nothing, so your belief is based on the falsitude of a whole lot of things. But you can't even conceptualize that because you're still living a lie. Oh yeah, these are notes and stuff I wrote for essays and all that kind of stuff based on my own of what I've come to realize. And this is about, I don't know, about 16 years ago, maybe 18 years ago. When we look at the concept of culture, right? The concept of culture, right? How many of y'all write about this? This is 2014 when I wrote this one. Okay? All right? It's about 10 years ago. I don't know. Yeah. 10 years ago. I just wrote this. This is on me. I still have some of my college books, and I write a lot. This wasn't in college. This was just me going in here and finding some empty pages, and I wrote a whole lot when you get into languages and symbols and the relevance to them. There's a book by Miss Lucas. I forget what it is. When you look at the identified patterns and origin and organizations, this is all based on sociology, because as I stated quite a few times, I'm still a fluent studier to put in practice sociology. More than psychology, because psychology to me is bullshit. It's about controlling the narrative. The one created out of hard times and everything else to put a label on it and then to manipulate it. All right? So I wrote quite a bit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read and get into descriptions, examples, and narrations and stuff. But I do this when I'm looking at what's going on in this so-called world. And I was living on a reservation when I did this. Yeah, 2014, I was on the Navajo reservation. Was I? Yeah, I was. On the reservation. I think it was my first or second year on the reservation. So I have tons of information on many things. But these are the things that I'll utilize when nurturing children, for those who decide to finally get their heads out their butt and to come and to build and to sit down and have a real class where you're showing children how to do this and how to weld this, or how to shape wood, how to use a chisel, how to make a doll, a doll, like a rod to bring two pieces of wood to make together, how to find natural things that are unknown to make a form of sap or resin for glue, and to make sure it's not too toxic by color tests. The simple things, because you want to use natural things. We're so busy with everything synthetic around us. All right? It robs you. It robs you. How many of y'all right now are starting to realize the denigrating factor of how time is moving so fast? Is it really moving that fast, or are things happening around you that that's making everything seem like it's speeding up? That's why I say most people pay too much attention to time. And I know it's hard for some of you to get out. I'm not giving that energy, because you are literally tied into everything being done for punctuality at a certain time. You can't free yourself when you're stuck there. Some of you look around and say, oh, we accomplished and got this, and oh, it's so beautiful. You don't even own it. I paid for it. No, the straw man paid for something that they gave over based on titles and everything else, and rent and this, that, and other, the ownership, right? To a government who's telling you right now, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, by the very individuals who don't know what it is to struggle. Okay? And they look at you as the things, because of your existence and what you're dealing with, as if we're in control. Look at what we did, the great us. And y'all running around less than. Make it make sense. Can you make it make sense? And even if you see papers that you believe, because they don't know, you say, wait a minute. I remember this happening in 1995. But then you look at the papers, and the papers say 1999. And you're going, wait a minute. You don't get how real the world is you're in, because you're not real in it. You don't really see what's really befolding you. You can't make heads of it, and therefore you have this, what they call psych wards. Because the moment you start speaking on it, because most of you still have your power, you just don't know how to utilize it. You start speaking on it, and the people say this person's crazy, because they're not in that knowing. That's not what they practice or train for. So you'll look crazy to the rest of the world because you are the one who woke up and saw something. Something's not right. But because you have trusted the very people who you can't trust in ignorance, because you were the same, that would be your own destruction and dilemma. And it don't matter if it's 100,000 people. That's 100,000 people that they deal with now. They got you. You're in the system. You know? Everything right now that's running this world is a perversion. And some of you will sit there and go, well, look at the black people who's talking about vote for Kamala. They're saying they were going to vote for this one, who ain't done nothing but be that right arm of destruction. Because she's black? Because she's a woman. You ought to listen to some of the things these individuals are saying. And how did it come to be? Well, if you have people willing to get into the music industry and the scientists on the other side who know how to take all your stuff and utilize it against you when you're not working in that field to recognize and be able to stop it, well, they manipulate. We need more of this. Or you could be a hit. Or you'll go platinum. I guarantee you. Even if you only put one song out that manipulate everybody. Right? Well, you didn't get a platinum, you got a gold. And even though you're making about 5 cents off of every 100%, you're going to be all right. And you're going to pay back everything even though we did this to you. And now we got you on some video footage. We got your parties. You're using drugs because you know you messed up. And you still want to come up because you want to be able to be free. But you're never going to be free because you played a part in the destruction of your own people. And you think these rappers, the baby, all these goofies, Rick Ross, XCO, Futter Butter Boy, you know what I'm saying? Fun Boy, all of them are. Because he's got that house with the land and doing car shows, this, that, and other. He's always got niggas around him. Right? Eating and losing weight, Ozempic and all that kind of stuff. You think they care about you? They don't even know how to care about themselves. They walk right on in and then made the deal. Look at them. You can't even see them for what they really are because so many people are so mesmerized because they want that same lifestyle when that's not a lifestyle at all. Like dumb races. You still got a plethora of those idiots running around. They haven't accomplished, they haven't done, they haven't made anything. I'm with the war, I'm a warrior, I'm a ground. Look at me. You even had Chris Kyle, right? Jesse Ventura. Him lying. Supposed to be a special force operator, right? Narcissistic sociopath. It doesn't matter who accomplishes what. Until the right ones stand up, the wrong ones are always going to be the ones they go to push the narratives. Talking about he swung and hit Jesse Ventura. An old man, Vietnam, did magnificent things, right? Governor, WW movies, entertaining, but he cares more about most of you than you do yourselves, right? Isn't he down in Mexico or New Mexico, wherever? He's in Mexico, right? He had to get away from all this. But does he play a part? And what part does he play? You know, you individuals, you can't see it. Like, I got boxes here, right? So I got to start removing a lot of small stuff. I got about 4 black bags. I got to get some more clothes bagged up so I can take to the church. So I got to remove all this stuff because when people do come in and they want to get this stuff, it's got to be gone. I didn't empty out the socks. We were having a couple of drinks, smoke a little medicine, and eating. Pretty much going broke because I don't want no food in the fridge. I don't want, I want, when it comes time to bounce, I'm out. But see, I'm the type of person who knows how to survive. Well, I'm saying that for your sake. A lot of you don't know how to do that. How many of you can travel across the country and take crackers, sardines, pick up banana and fruit, and that'd be your staple. And instead of a 3-day trip, make it 6 or 7 days so you can actually see everything, knowing that everything's going to be destroyed one way or another. That's not being based on my perception. That's a valued point that I made when I came over here with my service dog, my car in a hitch, in the U-Haul, packed to the hilt. All right? I made it my business to stop, to see things that nobody will look at, to walk charisma, allow her to see for herself, not knowing how long she had. It wasn't about me being cordial with the people around me. I'm always respectful to the people, regardless. I'm not looking for nothing. And I allowed myself to enjoy a moment in time. No harassment. Nobody stopped me or bothered me. My path was laid out. There was nothing nobody could do to stop it. Nothing. Y'all's path is controlled. You don't know how to cut yourself from it. My thing is to be out by the end of this week, right? Hopefully everything's going, right? I know I need to make a couple of signs and put them around, right? I made sure everybody knew, and they was like, well, let us know when it's open. We come in. My thing is I got to make sure at least it's prepped, because my thing was to clean up in the end, get it all out and clean everything up. And that's how we're going to do it. Does it mean it's the proper planning? It's not about proper planning. When you look for that kind of perfection, now you ruin yourself, because if you don't meet your quota, what happens? You're in delusion. You know, you're stressed, you're bothered. I just say, well, by the end of this week, 2 weeks, or a month, I'll pay another month's rent just to make sure everything is settled and done. And then, don't matter the weather, it's on and cracking. Even if I have to make, because I'm sitting here saying if we here for, me and him are going to make a trip, make sure I get this truck fixed, because it's got a little work that needs to be done on it, right? We'll get in mine, and we'll make our way down to the land. We'll drop off some more stuff. I can put a crap load of stuff in my truck. You know what I mean? And then when we come back up, you know, hopefully there's some notes. So on the bottom, it's open. Like, there's people who move all the time and they don't have everything. Or there's something else they want to have or give to somebody, or a son or a daughter who's going to college or getting a home. Or, you know, there's a lot of things. So I don't fret. I don't worry. I never have time now these days. I don't even know what the word worry is. You're either going to act upon things or you're not. You see everything, right? The gavel and the gavel or the hammer already fell. All right? It already fell. The signs. That's where everybody's at. The only ones making the noise are the ones putting on a vaudeville show. Y'all cannot see it because you can't even conceptualize. Because you could conceptualize it, then you could take matters in your own hand and you can act upon certain things. And the most of you are just acting upon the very same things that kept you enslaved in the first place. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of crap that I have to throw away while the dumpsters are empty, well, partially, and it has to happen. I've done a lot already, but I've got quite a bit more to do. But it's not crazy. It's just moving. It's movement. It's no more, no less. You know, yesterday, I think we had the clearest, bluest skies ever. This morning, well, they've been pumping out their little machines and pumping out their poison. And ain't nobody stopping it. No, because y'all are y'all are, how you said, complacent. You're not making the calls. Hell, they probably won't listen to you regardless of the numbers. Because most people won't say nothing. Now, I'm breathing. It's all right. I'm alive. Are you really alive? I would enjoy hearing people state how they're really alive. Because everything everyone's doing right now when everything first kicked off, they would have made it their business to do it then. Or hell, before that. I actually listened to a couple of liberals. I pointed out y'all because y'all is just delusional. Some of the rational reasoning or excuses they had why Biden pulled everybody out and left all the weapons and stuff there. I heard the most delusional stuff. I was like, you can't make this up. These people have no idea. They're just moving like a wet spitball blown through a straw stuck on a wall, moving it to a stuck where it needs to be at, and then it's just there. That's it. So you telling me that all of y'all are no different? You so-called conservatives? Y'all are nothing but a wet piece of paper blown through a paper or plastic straw, but you shouldn't be sucking on plastic, or duh. Stick it on the wall? That's what y'all are? Trump, 2024. Oh, shut up. Biden Harris. Blah, blah. He looks so stupid. Like you don't have a life no more. Like you really don't live. You're not even existing. You know? What was that? Who's that came in? Baby, go slide a grand ascension. What's up, mama? Anthony Betancourt, I debate your punk ass any day. It's all made up. You know race was invented by a guy named Johnson. Yes, I know. I've been saying it for a while. Bloomberg, yes. I've been talking about him in my live. Yeah, Tree Rogie, sure. Yeah. Hey, what's wrong with my wrenches? Y'all ain't handling the idiots? I don't mind seeing them, but I'm being very direct. Yeah, there you go. Seeing, you know. Well, I don't support you. How's that? I don't care. If you die, you die. It's nothing for me. The Lewis says, Rando. What's going on, man? What's that? Grand Ascension, beloved. What's cracking? Millennials best. Did you ascend? You second? Yeah, Eddie Hoffer. Hold on. Excuse me. I did the wrong thing there. I hit the wrong individual. As usual, my mistake. I was hitting this idiot. I didn't delete it. What's going on, Olmec? My apologies right there, man. Thank you. Eddie Hoffer, you's a goofy. You gone. Yeah, you're gone. Look at that. All that you said, ain't nobody got nothing. And then Miranda, yeah, you're goofy. Go back to Turkey or something. Iran or whatever. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy it. Shave, look neat and ugly. Yeah, you go and shave that big fur bush down there around your damn legs. You know, get them chiggers and them ticks out of it. Man, I do comedy too. Don't get it twisted. Had the brothers here cracking up this weekend. Ain't no such thing as black. I'm listening now. That's right, brother. Ain't no such thing as black, nor white, or yellow, or red, or anything. And that's the part when I was speaking. You see the ones who are delusional, when it's not about bots no more. And they can't help themselves, you know, when you're not natural. And that's not to dismiss people, or individuals, or persons who want to use those terms, which are not really good. But some people are, you know, they take it upon themselves to extradite themselves. I don't care if they're young or old, all right? And they won't accept the narrative that is right in their face. They want the narrative that's in their, it's not even a creation. It's not even a dream. It's some false, fanciful ideology that has nothing to do with their truth of existence. You can't make this up. But the reality is, they're about making things up because they have this feeling that it's right. Or it's not even about being right and wrong. It's about, can they tip the tempest? You know, go get on a little canoe and take your ass down, row it all the way through 100-foot waves and tell me how that works out. You know what I mean? T. Hines, what's going on? Who are they? What's happening, brother? Tony P. What's going on, brother? Yeah, delusions. What happened? I had to put your wrench back, man. I didn't remove your wrench. Why would somebody do that? You're a moderator, what you call it too. So I don't know why that even happened. Got to change the data set we allow to surround us. Indigo Seti, I agree. Yeah, they're right. Don't focus on it. Just knock them out when you see it makes no sense. It doesn't talk for over 2 years. Man perspective. Hmm. 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 Mr. Lonewolf, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, you're already gone, cuz. He said, pin you. Pin you for what? Because are you destroyed? You know, a lot of women in Thailand love us. Because y'all are no good. A lot of y'all are gay. Which is all right. The more y'all gay, that means the less y'all procreate, and sooner or later you won't be around anyway. So more power to it. Oh, Billy Smith, do you smoke meth? You know, some of y'all are meth users. You know what I'm saying? You got to get past that. There's meth users in every walk of life, sadly. First ban on the channel. They can't handle the truth. Like, what's going on, 40 Dubs? How they gonna ban you, man? They see that's what they do. They ban people because they're scared. Knucklehead TV, what's going on, beloved? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? What's happening? You earned your wrench, bro. I don't take wrenches away either. You know what I'm saying? Barely traveled, but I've been poor my whole life. You're not poor. Never say you're poor. What I expressed to you before, millennial. Never say you're poor. All right? Because poor, if you're alluding to the fact of the fiat, then you're destroyed for lack of knowledge. Okay? You're not poor, hon. You dig what I'm saying? You're not poor at all. You know? KHTV. The slap was cracking. You can get any advice. Bigger cook. You know you get a wrench. That's my little sis right there, y'all. You got a wrench, girl. You see something retarded. You know what to do. Bigger cook. She the one that won. She the one who won Redman's first rap challenge. Woo! That thing was fire, y'all. I've been on that because, you know, Redman, we grew up all together. My uncle, Lonnie Wright, played for Denver Broncos. He was one of the heads of UMDMJ. And I used to be over there in the square and everything like that. And one of my fiance was from over there. She was battling some demons. And, you know, Red used to come through there and we see this, that. I go over there, 8th Street, hit Tretch and them guys up. You know, Ben Rock's brother is the one I hung out with, you know what I'm saying? So, Ben Rock's brother's a musician. He used to work at, when I was assistant manager at Whole Foods on Wolfville Avenue, where, you know, I used to make Isaac Hayes juice, his medicine. Queen Latifah, all of them used to come in through there, man. I used to be like, hey, you working here? Yeah. Like I'm supposed to be like with them traveling and doing all that weird stuff, rapping and all. No. I came out the military, and after all of what I went through, I was like, I don't want no parts of none of that, because I know they are involved in some things that is not par for the course with me. So, but you know, there's always respect when you grow up knowing these people. I mean, Lauryn Hill helped me babysit my cousin Jazz, like, you know what I mean? Come on now. It's good to have y'all up in here. I got my baby Snoo up in here. When I was all right. Jerome, I don't care if you're French. I don't care if you're Spanish. I don't care. How are you? How you doing? All that means nothing. But it's a pleasure if you really are in France. I truly enjoy France. Magnificent place where I got some real good world. I don't know why. Well, there are people in France who know. A lot of people don't read a lot of those old books. I don't get it. To know real history, you know? All right. You already know. Grand elevations. Queen already. Tony P. What's going on, beloved? What's cracking? Yeah, that's what I said. Pitiful way. You know what I'm saying? I just said this yesterday. This big, there you go, baby girl. Yeah, slap them down, let them know. I'm mid-surgery and this helps me operate better. All right, cool. USA. How about just America? U.S. has nothing to do with this land except for being overburdening an empire type narrative, and this was never the United States of America. America was one land, this was the Republic, and all that stuff was to create division. And that was there's a number of books that allude to this and point this fact out. This is not the U.S. And you say of a. United States of America. Like, most people don't even know the language to know when they're speaking for or against. I'm just pointing that out. Look into it. Dollar's an illusion, exactly. I just said if everybody the same gender officially in the species, how are we not if we're not sexual beings? Hello? Hello? Whatever is she? Appreciate it, Marquise. Yeah, you're wrenched up. Yo, Matt Katz, what's happening, man? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? You know, we have, and I say this, and not lucid, we have allowed ourselves to be rewritten or rewrote. We've allowed ourselves to be victimized. We've allowed ourselves to be starved in the dredge of society. Because you got to remember when they were talking about over there with the babies, with the pot bellies, eating mud pies and fly meat, there were thousands upon thousands here starving as well. The hypocrisy of it all is beyond the scope of anything. And then those who have, they sit there and look at those who don't. This is where it gets tender, and they want to curse them. Make that make sense. Where's the strength in that? That's the most, well, they're being coined to do this, especially in those dumb racist churches, and they still exist. You know what I mean? It's digital now to show us how unserious they are. Currency is now in the form of video games. See, Bitcoin's paid with phones, and it's even worse than that. Now they got everybody believing you got to get gold and silver. Why would you want to get gold and silver for if you got roving bands and you got to fight and there's nothing to pay for? It was never about coin. That's what they've got everybody giving energy to things that shouldn't exist, because people want to have a false sense of hope. To believe in a narrative of money means that people are still a slave, or it's indicative of being a slave to the narrative. You got to pay to sleep on your earth. You got to pay to eat food on your earth, which they're poisoning. To drink water, they're poisoning. The air, they're poisoning. You've got to pay to put, it used to be air was free to put in your tires. The worthless excuse was it's electricity, which is not even nominal to a percent of electricity being utilized. And it's just more control. They want to control the narrative. That's why they said by 2025, 6 billion of you have to be gone. They didn't let 30 to 40 million individuals into this country, maybe 10 to 20% not coming here to fight. And that's being spoken about by those who came here, who was telling people, a lot of bad people here. They're waiting to go ahead and give a signal. And when that signal is given, they're going to take that ammonium nitrate and their bombs. We have everything here to make all that crap. Regardless of it being illegal, the reality is, and they're going to set out. I expressed to our brothers, John's is back home. You didn't message me, bro, let me know you was home safe. But and T, I said, imagine New York, 42nd Street, right? I remember when the cars drove down it and everybody had a good time. Then Bloomberg wanted to make a little center where people could sit and all this other shit. Then the roads became blocked, Toys R Us and all that was disappearing. I was in New York at that time. I used to be out there, you know, with the Decepticon break dancers, 14th in Manhattan, right? And I'm doing capoeira, teaching Tai Chi. And I says, imagine being out there doing that. And you have individuals at a certain time walk to different points, each on a block, maybe 2 on a block. Say we have 40 of these individuals in this one area that go between a certain number of city blocks, and they detonate and start blowing themselves up with vehicles put in certain positions. Nobody can fathom that because they're so busy out there dancing, and it's the limelight, and you got Chevys, and you know, the movie theaters look like, you know, and everybody's having a good time walking, and some people are drugged, and this, that, and the other are selling and trying to make $1. What good is that when they've already destroyed you and you didn't even pay attention because you didn't know what to look for, because the world you live in is so occupied with predetermined obstacles. So you've convinced yourself everything is beautiful because based on Hollywood and music, we're the great I am, yet there's nothing great. And that's one place. Now imagine that. We're talking about 24 to 50 pounds of Simtech blowing up with ball bearings and everything else at 2 different points on each block. People everywhere. And then vehicles positioned by certain individuals. Why do you think they're giving them money? They have more knowledge on how to make these things because it was always illegal for you even to own the Turner, the Turner books. They had to stop that because you might have fought back against the system. But you think about, you'll sit there and watch William Neeson talking about the IRA. You'll watch people turning on Gaddafi. You'll manipulated by outside contingencies. The fact that Arafat wasn't even in Palestine. He was born a Palestinian, or a Philistine born somewhere else, and utilized as a tool to convince the people with the people behind it to do the things they were doing. I mean, think about it. Hezbollah was created by who? How did the Panther movement become the Black Panther movement when even, not just, you gotta remember Michael Jackson when he was still alive, not the fake motherfucker they just killed off, all right? James Brown, all of them wasn't with that black shit. Because I told y'all, I come from a family that they told me if anybody, back, somebody would used to turn black and they were adamant about it, they would have shot them. Not advocating violence, and it happened. People want to hold on to, Jesse Jackson. Before Jesse Jackson came up, before my uncle played in Roots and a few other relatives, right? Nobody knew about no out of Africa crap. Hell, Celeste, the punk who ran away when the Harlem Hill, when the Tuskegee went over there to fight back Italy to save Ethiopia. He was over here trying to convince you to leave the land to which millions of our people had already done. You think about the Pequot, the Micmac. A lot of them niggas went to Haiti and Jamaica, taking on boats. Fighters, some of the most ferocious fighters were the Pequot. They're the first ones they had to get rid of. And we started fighting and skirmishing with the other end because we saw the betrayal. People don't know real history. They want Mongolia. There's this old joke about the word Navajo with the Hopi. It means thief. This is not to banish or throw cause into the wind, but most people can't accept it. Yeah, I can dig that. But you better start accepting some things real soon. Right now, you have a lot of young men who are broken, and women, because they're youth, they'll sleep with them, and it's bad energy. And all it does is take the power of the woman and make her less powerful. Because you have this weak man who's not his strength. This weak thing. It's not even a man no more. But you have women, because of their power, who are still walking as women, but they're conflicted and confused. And so I saw this other, I know there's a lot of young women in their 30s dealing with older men. And they get into that cougar and all that other shit they say. These new narratives, right, painted. Sugar daddies and all this other shit. No, you have some women realize that they're going to get good seed with memory and information from that individual. Compared to that thing right there that's running up in his homeboy, his neighbor's butt. A lot of y'all don't know that they manipulate you with lights. Neon lights. I mean, think about when they made it a staple that all vehicles have to have those LEDs, which are too bright for you. And you think it's natural. When the lights that were on, created by us, work just as fine. They weaponized the very headlights on your car. Even the red light that sits up at the top of some of the vehicles, that does something. Red and black, you don't never want to paint your house red and black. Do you know that? It'll make you violent, angry. You won't be able to shake it. And people think it's crazy. But they study about any of this this stuff? Do they have any knowledge in it? They have no knowledge in this stuff because nobody's giving it to them. They're not teaching them. So they're moving along and they think everything is the way it's supposed to be because they're still dancing or they're still there. So they're still following a fictional dream. Imagine everybody in the hood being rappers. Well, then who's going to want to listen to what? Imagine everybody being baseball players. Who's going to want to go to the game? Imagine everybody being hockey. We created hockey. They had to steal that. Imagine everybody being hockey players. Well, who's going to be in the stands? It makes no sense, right? Imagine everybody being rich and politicians. Then the world would be boring. And they would go right back to root one and make wars based upon their richness. See, they've created a world so strong in delusion. The delusion sits over you like an empire. And you extradite yourselves upon that empire like loyal subjects. And you're not even aware of what has happened. Because it was so slow. The frog in the kettle, the lily pads, beach chair, and you down there with your Ferris rod and flint, and you got the spark. And next thing you know, you got your little bundle, right? Your nest. Poof. And you put it down there and you start adding more kindle. And next thing you know, the pot get a little too hot to touch, but the water is just right. And the frog on libation settles down. Holy shit, man, this is good. And next thing you know, you're putting logs up under that bitch. And before the motherfucker can touch the side, which probably burn his little flippers, you got frog soup. A lot of y'all the soup. All based upon alphabets. It's a game. It's pragmatics. It's pragmatic to the dissolving of your existence. You know what I'm saying? And people need to see this for what it is. They don't have to accept you because of their lives. I remember when New York didn't have no Mexicans. And the first Mexicans allowed by these fake mayors to bring more destruction, knowing that Chinese would play a part, all right, would be the cartels, right? And most of y'all run around with these individuals, except for the ones who have swayed away. I've met some grand brothers. I told you I got many here who I know we would die for each other. That's a guarantee. I don't plan on dying like that, but you know what I mean, okay? No such thing as dying. So let me retract that word. There's no such thing. You be removed from here. Yeah. There's no coming back as a rat, as they do in a certain country, based on the Kamala demon, okay? With the lotus, that has nothing to do with sprouting or the fact of being one and solidarity. No, it's that divisiveness of a lost history, and it's contingent to the design that most people, I see people getting it all the time, tattooed or Hindu, the witchcraft ink on them, and I'm like, you don't even know what you're doing. Every tattoo I have has a meaning. I never paid attention until somebody in Singapore gave me a tattoo. And they says, you know what this means? I was like, no. It says, this tattoo means this. This one means that. Then I was like, he says, your tattoos tell a story. Did you get this done on purpose? I was like, no, it's an Australian brother doing tattoos in Singapore. I was like, no, I didn't know that. He says, well, you got your tats laid out that tells a story. I had no idea. Even the one on my back, which is big. It looks like a cross, but it has nothing to do with a fake crucifix. It has something to do with reality. Not the perplexities of the crossroads. But that's a whole nother dynamic. Because when people see that tattoo, they get scared. See, most people will accept where they're at. I'm telling you to stop accepting where you're at. Because if you accept where you're at, then you're going to stay the deplorable state. You're going to stay the controlled opposition of self. You're going to not be in the Delph. You're going to be walking around in a lucid dream that has nothing to do with reality. And when you start conceptualizing and seeing it, when you start seeing it, then you'll start wondering, how can you flee? It's fight or flight, right? Because when you realize that you haven't been fighting, you're going to want to fight. You want to have to take flight. And the problem with that is you have never prepared yourself to be able to do so. So what does that incur? it encourages you being part of the dynamic of your own structures, and most of you are walking in right now unhappy, but you always put a smile. That's the great thing about who you are. You always smile. You always want to uplift everybody, but never uplift yourself, because you'll say to yourself, well, I'll figure it out next week. I'll figure it out next hour, or next day. I'll figure it out next hour. I've got a few minutes. Put off for tomorrow what you could do today. Is that just a statement that we throw around and flaunt like heresy? You know what I mean? Hey, Navi, what's up, mama? Hey, what's going on? 28 grams. Do you like Charleston White? I never really met him. I know he makes statements that are relevant. You know? In the New York Minute, what's happening, beloved? Good to see you, Navi. Excellent video, too. You have a beautiful voice. Are you a singer? I sing. You have some. We're all smart. We're intelligent, are we? And we're not by design. That's a mechanical statement, by design. How can creation itself, fluid in all connectivity, in all frequency, disrupted? That's by design. But you should walk in your existence, which everyone is not walking in their true existence. Alexander, what you doing, man? Al came up to say hi. What's up, Papa? You want to play? You're attacking people's ankles. Anyway, I just want to come on and just give up that little information. You guys share it. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay, good. That's what's up. He's okay. He's all right. I don't know him. It's good to have you, brother. It's good to have you up in here. What's that? Yeah. God, you got on that. He's like, not today. Oh, baby, gonna start a bigger cookie when got on him. I appreciate you guys. Y'all don't know, man. I don't mind bots and trolls. And trust me, y'all, they don't bother me. Because it lets me practice cracking on people. And you know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones who are moving in feelings and emotions. Remember that. Don't move in the feelings and emotions y'all move in are fraud. Y'all know this too. They're fake. I want one of y'all to prove to me your feelings and emotions are not fake. When y'all could do that, I'll accept it. Doesn't mean that I'll ride with it, because I know some things. I don't know nothing, but I know some things. When you can prove to me that your feelings and your emotions, because I could drive on any of them. Where you stand, I know that you sit up in your rooms, you cry, I know that you sit there, you struggle. All those things are necessary. But you hold yourself there because you're content in that deplorable state. Because you're doing better, there's always somebody beneath. That's not living. That's not life. That is indicative, again, to your own subjugation and destruction. When we was growing up, they had, Beverly Hills. They moved down to and the Green Acres is the place for me. Farm loving is you see what I'm saying? What happened to that? What's the drama of it all? The drama. We're going to take life and we're going to make it a drama. And in doing that, we can scope lives. Right? But behind the scene is payments, this, that, and other. And nobody wants to attest to any of it, because it is that thing that gives a false illusion. Rich, but I can farm, make people laugh. That creates, like Andy Griffith show. Do-do-do. All right, we're moving on up. When we get into Sanford and Son, it's all about slapsticks, this, that, and the other. That is to keep you in denial, because now you can laugh when you're already a very funny and laughable, plausible people. But you can't see what has been done. The slow degradation and segregation and deploration, and by a determination that was put over you. They determined it, they conspired. All right, they've conspired together. You don't need to know who. The reality is you're under it. People have a hard time when they find out, okay, his real nickname is Lucifer. Yeah. Does it bother you? Why? They go, okay, well, he knows his German side of his family. Klein, Kaiser, and Klein, Kaiser, and Schaust. So? Jawohl. See, we want to be part of the step, but we want to move with the black hand. And that's not even black. So it's the hidden hand. Is that right? Y'all all knew about the gray pope, but you didn't know, you all knew about the black pope, but you never knew about the gray pope. How does one incur that? The frog in the pot. Not looking. Unaware. Unattentive. Not saying I'm right or wrong. It's not about, see, we're in this two-sided war. You're right, you're wrong. You're uplifting, you're deplorable. Blah, 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 blah. That's part of the contingency that keeps everyone from the bigger picture. The damage is done, the damage is done. How do you get back from the damage? Most people can't sit there and say, I apologize to myself, let me move forward. To be stuck on moving back, and then being stuck and then taking a step back seems to be the only way people know how to function. Okay? Where's the functionality in that? Where's the truth? What's the fact? Well, the truth from the fact, you're destroyed. You're just moving in their existence. Unable to see, ill-equipped, unprepared. No 7 Ps, no 3 Ps. Practice and preparation prevents poor what? Come on, people. You're supposed to, this knowledge is about everything, even in the workforce. Out of war, how it's utilized. Hostile takeovers were never meant to be, but it allowed the very enemy to sack everything and own everything to control your narrative. Now your narrative isn't even conclusive. What is conclusive is that you're not living. You're not living. How would allude to a provocative what? Because it's a given direction when you say how. You are doing. Well, how would allude to the fact of doing what I should be doing, which I cannot culminate whether it's fine, good, bad, or whatever, because most of those words really have no true staple in meaning, or meaning in the staples. So how are you doing is insignificant. It is impure and unimportant. I am existing because there's a story I have to tell. It's the same narrative. It will never change. The words we use only shows that no one is in tune with their frequency or their linguistics. Because they've been given something, so they speak with it as if it's meaningful without knowing that what they're saying is actually meaningless. But I am well. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up. Prevents piss poor performance. Yes. Yes, it is, honey, an oxymoron all day. It's like having a liquid lobotomy. When you take water pressure to carve rocks, sometimes people's brains are hard as rock. We're not out talking about cholesterol and myelin. I don't want to get all into the, you know what I mean? Yeah. I detest this language because it's It's a broken consortium of false pretenses that give an illusion to something that don't exist, and then we run with it, and we think you know what I mean? We think you've been raised, not lifted. Well, lifted can mean I got a good one too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying. Appreciate it. What is it? Yeah, right. Doesn't that seem like one of those old things? Make me a mod, make me a mod. You gotta learn modesty and learn to moderate yourself. It just won't work like that. So today is not gonna be a whole lot of stuff. I know that this TV is going to my neighbor. I think he's looking at the stand downstairs, everything, sound bar. So all this, not a lot of stuff, but all this got to get going because we need to be going. You know what I'm saying? I got to back up these clothes, guys. I got to get through these socks. Got a lot of them, and some more books. Only a handful I kept. I mean, I got some in the shed. My tote. That's real light. I'm probably gonna put these ones in there. I'm gonna keep the ones that I'm gonna read for this week. So we're gonna come back here in about maybe 7 hours. I'm gonna read. All right. The donation line is still open. If you want to give 50 cents, $1, whatever, it's still available. All right. We're gonna get these books. I might have to go down, like I said, me and T go down there, set up our PO boxes, and then that way we can go ahead. Whatever comes down there, Gancho will have, and if it's important and he's reading it, I can be like, open and let me know what it states. So I'm gonna keep this one for another week. I'm gonna give it to Tetra, who's becoming, I think they're training her to be the manager at Safeway. So, I told her to stick with it because she had left the job twice. My little baby girl, she's like my little, I guess, niece or my little sister, right? One of her son's autistic. I've been working hard to get him to get much better, but you can only do so much when the family doesn't know this stuff. You know what I mean? The immediate, the grandmas and stuff like that, especially in the Navajo Nation. She's Navajo, but she's also us. So I have some things to do. Not perplexed by it. Still a little tired. Woke up very early as usual. Risen, whatever the term is you want to utilize. But like I stated, I got to get this stuff together, guys. And me and T, we got to set up this tent to make sure everything is perfect. But like I said, I appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. You need to really think about some of the things I've expressed. I know some people in position, it's hard to see beyond that. But imagine going somewhere and starting anew with a different focus, no matter what happens. Because right now, most people are moving with no knowledge of what's going to happen, and have a knowledge of what's laid before them by those who have said what they've said. It's a play on everything to keep you docile, keep you moving until the destruction has occurred. Right now, a lot of them are fleeing. Where are they fleeing and where are they going? These are things you'll never know, but you're here, and you're not doing anything to better your stance. How do you stay? How do you stay in that facility of operation of modem, or modem operation, operandi, right? Without no good source of outcome. How? That's what I ask you to ask yourself. How do I stay here knowing what I know now? Not fear-based, not fear-monkery, not to give energy to create more of a collapse and destruction. You're already dealing with that. But the very people, the idiots running around, vote for this one, or they just want the cap on their fast death. When I was saying it, because I'm not into politics, I don't care. All right? I said, y'all gonna vote for Trump, you're slow death, or you're gonna vote for Biden, you're fast death. Boy, them niggity niggas got I gotta go talk to Ronald Reagan. Oh, get my white Jesus. Oh, cause these little monkeys, they just need to go back to Africa. Oh, what are you talking about? That beautiful white lady over there. Y'all want to go over there disrespecting her with all that blackity blackness. How we can't have them jungle boys jumping around. You can't beat Tarzan. Tarzan was the greatest white man to conquer the African land. You can. Why y'all need... You get where I'm coming from? I could be that motherfucker. I'm not here to be Uncle Ruckus, okay? What y'all need to do is you need to access your higher history of existence, okay? Because you're not existing in your truth. I don't care who you think you are. The problem is you're thinking it, but you're not manifesting it. Some people think, I'm going to get rich overnight, and then I'm going to do this. That's not how it works. You're willing to make a sacrifice to be in a comfortable uncomfortableness? I don't comprehend that. This old Indian here, right? This old engine right here says, well, that's the way it's dynamic of your movement. Well, I got a car that can run with no wheels on it. That means it can stand on the stanchions, right, with the motor running. That's all it means. It doesn't literally mean it's going anywhere. Think about it. Or, what was that? Just popped up. Looking in the mirror, folks. Appreciate it. Bear Cook, Snoo. All this stuff, security chief, indoors, out of the weather. Awesome, brother. I like your room. You can't see it. You'll be all right. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and I'll see y'all roughly in about, I would say 5 hours or whatever. It'll take a few hours to get some things together. We gotta eat something, you know what I'm saying? I think I got some crab legs up in the freezer, some fruits, some chaga, kachab. We got some stuff, man. Y'all can even buy us breakfast if you wanted to. We're trying to hold off on a lot of things, y'all, because we want to bounce. And Ganja knows. They tell you, usually you come in here, my freezer's full, fridge is full. When I realized that this is a wrap, I started giving away, you know what I mean? Like, seriously. It's time, you know? It's I'm gonna be honest with you, so you'll feel better about yourself. I could have been gone 5 months ago. I had people was looking around, came here, I was like, hey, how much you get for that stuff? I could have been like, you can buy this. You can take it. I didn't need it. I sit on in my chair. But at that time, my perceptions was contrived. Because y'all were important. Me going live, you know, putting some things together. They say content creators. That means we take other content, we create more content. But they want to control the narrative, right? You put too much stuff up, it's reused. When the majority of my stuff is me talking. They're afflicted and bothered by what I state. I don't give a flying damn. I never cared. I walk in the Jannah. But I know the Hawa. And the Hawa's good shit. The Jannah, you want to stay far away from it because y'all really don't know it. Y'all really, really don't know it. So stop acting like participants because your emotions and feelings get the best of you at times. And trust me when I tell you this, stay away from the darkness. Unless you're the light that can maneuver it. When I say the light, I mean go in and come out as you choose and as you feel, or as you please. Do you think the people who translated native tribal languages using English letters also translated Mandarin or Japanese? Of course they did. They created it. Or did they purposely not do it to hide a real? Why don't y'all go back and look at some of the words that are still being created in many of the languages? You know what I'm saying? But that's an excellent question, Nabby. Excellent question. Excellent. I'm gonna look more into that too to give more of a dividend of paint a better picture. But I hope that was kind of helpful. Appreciate you, baby. So I appreciate all. Chief, take it easy. Stay hydrated and listen to your body. Be careful. Don't overhydrate because water's not really good for you. Reads it. Always, Big Cook. Always, beloved. Always. Lovely Damon. Appreciate that. But anyway, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see y'all in a few hours. Hey, T, that you, man? Yo. Your ass passed out downstairs. I guess she was like, nah, no more of that hard ass flow, cuz. Oh, you downstairs? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought she was up here, man. All right. Yeah, he'll be alive. When I'm reading, he'll be there. He'll be there when I'm reading. I'm gonna do it downstairs. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'll get with y'all. I know I should say, but no, I'm not. I'm gonna let my Greek mosaic come in, because you know my beard grows like this. It grows literally like Greeks. So I'm gonna let it come in and let it come all the way down. I don't do nothing. I just brush it in the morning, because you know beards be looking like I'm over in Timbuktu or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? With the mustache being way out here, mine's grow like that. I got porcupine mustache and beard, but I'm gonna let it grow in, man, because about to be down a little further down south. All right. So I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna get with y'all later.